It is your proximity to God that determines how clearly you can understand His ways. For as long as you stay far away from God, you will always misunderstand the things that He does. That is why there are many atheists that say that God is wicked because of this so thing in the world and that so thing in the world, because they don't understand what it means. But the closer you get to God, the more things begin to make sense. Let me give you an example. When the Israelites were around Mount Sinai, they were far from Mount Sinai. What they could see from far was fire. But Moses took the elders to the mountain, and the elders, the Bible said that they could see the feet of God. And then Moses now took Joshua and they went forward. They were not seeing fire. And Moses that went closer, if it was fire, he would have been consumed. But it was those that were far away from God that were seeing fire. That alone should teach you something. The farther away you get from God, the more you will misunderstand His ways. And when you misunderstand His ways, you will see Him as wicked and you begin to hate Him. There was a guy in the Bible named Asaph. Asaph said that, "Oh, I love the Lord, but then I nearly lost my faith because I looked at the wicked and I saw how the wicked people in this world, they prosper, they make money, they marry, and they are being given in marriage. They plant and they harvest what they planted. And then I began to lose faith. I began to ask myself, what is the value of being righteous? What is the value of being good? But then when I entered into the tabernacle of God, the temple of God, the presence of God, I began to pity them. For I understood that they were in a trap. They shall get caught in a trap. Sin is a comfortable trap. Eventually they shall fall and they shall be destroyed. The road to heaven looks like hell, and the road to hell looks like heaven. This is what you must understand. But you see, hell is for eternity, and heaven is also for eternity. So what do you choose? What do you choose? These are the things that I've learned to understand. In the Bible, it says, Asaph was speaking. He said that when I was confused, when I was annoyed, when I was in darkness, and when I misunderstood your ways, I did not run away, but I stayed close to you. And by your mercy, you took my hands and you led me through light. Let me explain what that means. There are many things about God that I did not understand, and I was angry because of that. But I did not stop reading the Bible, and I did not stop praying. And because I constantly stayed close to Him, with time I understood the things that I meant to understand. With patience, you will know whatever it is that you want to know in this life. This was how I understood why there was a lot of problem and pain in this world. There was a time I woke up in the morning, early in the morning, to pray, and then God dropped Psalm 82 in my heart. He told me to read it. Now, around that time, long ago, I was asking God, if you are loving, why is there suffering in this world? Because I will see the poverty people are suffering and it will ache me in my heart. I will be pained and I'll be nearly pushed to tears. So I was asking God, why is these things happening in the world? Why do people suffer like this? After that time, long later from that time, I woke up in the morning and Psalm 82 was dropped in my heart. And when I read Psalm 82, I advise you to go and read it too. You'll find out that Psalm 82 was a conversation between man and God, a man named Asaph. Asaph was praising God. He now began to tell God that God should arise and judge the wickedness, that God should not be lazy, and God should not be wicked by allowing wickedness to continue and allowing wicked people to oppress good people and allowing wicked people to be successful while good people suffer. And this is how God replied him. Psalm 82 verse 5 and 6. They have neither knowledge nor understanding. They walk about in darkness, and all the foundations of the earth are shaking. I have said you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High, but nevertheless you shall die like mortal men. What God was saying there was that the reason why those people are suffering is because they don't know who they are. They don't have knowledge and understanding. They have no knowledge. They are ignorant. That is why they are slaves. When I learned that, I was like, it didn't really shake me. I was like, all right. I didn't really understand it deeply. But then later that day, before I say what happened later that day, you know that thing where if you hear that a random man died, for example, if you hear that a random man died, you'll be like, Okay. But if you hear that your father died, your eyes will open like this. What happened to him? That kind of thing. I didn't get that realization. I was like, all right. So later that day, me and my family member were sitting down, we're watching a documentary of my country, Nigeria, the history of my country. And throughout the history, throughout all the dictators, all the generals, all the presidents, all the corrupt presidents and everything, one thing that was prominent with the population of Nigeria was that there was abject poverty in the land. When I watched that thing, I was pained inside. And then I entered into my room. You see why it's good to pray consistently. And I wanted to pray to God about it. I was about to ask God, why would you allow this thing to happen? And immediately, a voice dropped in my heart. Do you remember what I told you this morning? And then immediately I got that deep realization. You know that deep realization and awakening you get if you hear your father died, rather than that little awakening that you get if you just heard a random person die. That is the same awakening I got. That alone proves to me that many people are in the situation they are in because they want to be there. But if I was not close to God, I would not have understood this. And there are more deeper things to understand, because the depth of the riches and the depth of the knowledge of God, how unsearchable are his ways, and his knowledge are past found out. Who can know the mind of the Lord? Who can be his counselor? Whoever has first given to him shall not be given to him again. For to him, all him, and to him shall all the glory be given forever. Get closer to God. The one that created knowledge has knowledge. God has a lot to teach you. But if you don't want to learn, you will never learn.